Let's talk about the newest Thomastic strings, Dominant Pro. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be reviewing the newest strings from the Thomastic, Dominant Pro. So we know that Thomastic is a very known company that makes a lot of extremely amazing strings, okay? There is a lot of strings that I love from the Thomastic. I did try these. I actually have them for a couple of months now. I purchased these right when they were available for general public. Let me tell you first thing, they are pricey, but you know, we know strings are not cheap. They are currently on Sharp Music. I was just checking this morning. They go for $99 plus tax, and yeah, you can get some kind of a bonus strings to go with this. I got the blue ones from Jagger, and Jagger are one of my most favorite strings. So thank you, Sharp Music, for a bonus string. But this is what we're gonna talk about today. Because I have them for a few months, I got a chance to play on them and use and abuse them, and I think I know exactly what I think about the strings. So first thing first, you guys, the packaging. It's very bougie. Let's just be honest, not many strings comes in this kind of a box-like packaging, which is, you know, like it opens like a book, you know, it's fancy. Let's be honest, it's very fancy, but at the same time it's not musician friendly because it does take quite a bit of the space in your case. So this is very thick, you know, and the string itself, once you open up, and the strings are, you know, like they come in the typical, you know, thin kind of a paper sleeve. So I think if you want to carry these around, you better just take them out of this packaging and you can just kind of put them in your case, because this is not really friendly. You know, this is just too much packaging. But the reason I think they have all this packaging, because they also including the booklet, which has a lot of information. Okay, there is a lot of you can read in this booklet if you want to, obviously. So I put the strings on my Gregnani violin because they really needed a new set of strings. And like I mentioned, I think I put them like a few months ago. I would say 3 months ago or so. So this is how they look like. They have all black here endings on the bottom, and on the top they do have some colors, you know, depend on what string, but they're very sleek. You know, I kind of like the black look, very, you know, kind of sleek and, you know, concert like appropriate, right? The one that I've got are DP100. I don't know if that makes sense, but there are different numbers on those strings. So, you know, first I didn't pay attention. They're obviously like DP04, DP03A, DP02, and DP01. So first I didn't pay attention. I put them on because usually, you know, like why would I read and, you know, get into it too much. I just want to test it, and let me tell you this, when I put them on, I had to play a couple of rehearsals and, you know, some of the masterwork concerts, and you guys, I am not impressed. Let's put it this way. I am not impressed at all. It happened at that particular concert when I had these strings freshly on my violin. I was sitting in the second violins, and I had a lot of, like, you know, the second sometimes I have to do a lot of like accompanying part, and I had a lot of daddy, you know, like on the G string, you know, a lot of kind of those running 16 notes. I could not get a clear, articulated sound. And I was like, what is happening? What is happening? The sound that was coming out of the G string was like so muddy, you know, it was just so mushy, and I ended up changing the bows and it still was not articulated. And I know it's not me. Okay, I know it's not me. I can get a good sound. and it was just on the fast running notes, it was just getting mushy. The string was just not responding fast. It was like, I don't know, it was just like lagging. Something was just not right. The next thing what I noticed, that the E string sounded awful. I mean, you guys, just awful, okay? And after having problems with the G string and listening to my awful sound on the E string, I realized that it's something wrong. There's obviously something wrong with those strings, and I have to dig into it. So that's basically when I started to read a little booklet, and I started to pay attention to the numbers that are, you know, basically printed on those little sleeves. So very quickly I noticed that my E string has a steel core, and I was like, no wonder. It just sounded awful. That was my first thought. I can tell that I'm playing on the steel strings, and it's, I don't know, it's probably been 15-20 years since the last time I played on the string that has a steel core, and I just could not believe it. So I start digging in, you guys, in that little booklet, because I said, this cannot be happening. That string just sounded awful on my violin, and this violin is usually very forgiving. I can pretty much put any strings on and it sounds very beautiful, okay? Very forgiving instrument, and these are probably the first strings that it just sound awful. So let's talk about this E string, you guys. So the one obviously that I have that came with my set, it's DP01, and it says a carbon steel core, and I can tell you guys it sounds like a steel. I'm not sure from my little little demo that I'm gonna do, I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell that it sounds very kind of steel, not very warmth, you know, but trust me, if you play it and you can hear it, you know, with your ear here by the instrument, you can tell that something is just not right. I did a little research looking at that long booklet. So obviously the one I have, it's a steel, the steel core strings, and they actually say that this string, it's supposed to be have a soft sound and just have a very nice, you know, kind of good response, barely whistles, very well balanced. In its brilliance or warmth, there's no warmth, okay? Let me just tell you that right away. There's no warmth. So it also comes, by the way, mine is tin plated. There also comes gold plated, but it's still, the core is it's steel, so I'm not sure if that's gonna make a difference. It says that the gold is very well used in the orchestras and chamber music. Yeah, and then they have a platinum. Platinum, they say it's very sensitive, but it's a stainless steel core. So I'm just not sure if this is something that it's gonna work, okay? So I have a feeling that no matter which one I would get, I would still have, you know, I could still hear that, you know, that steel core in the sound, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it at all. All right, let's talk about the G string. So the G string, since I had also complaints, this one has a synthetic core, and the one I have is a silver one. So let's see, it comes in the silver. Yeah, so it's DP04. This is the one that I have. Is this the only one that it's there? So it looks like this is the only one option for the G string. So that's a bummer, because that G string is just very muddy. Okay, if I play fast notes, it's just very muddy. It doesn't have a good response. I was just so disappointed, to be honest with you. I just couldn't take it. I was so disappointed that I was ready to take those strings off my violin, but you know, I'm keeping them on because obviously I wanted to do this review and just kind of show you guys and, you know, play for you and just talk about this. But basically it looks like the G string only comes in the silver. The DNA, I don't really have much complaint. I think it's alright. It's not blowing my mind off by any means, but they do have a couple of options for those. Let me see, I'm just getting lost in here. The D string. Okay, so the D string comes with the synthetic core, which is great, and it could be silver or aluminum. The one I have, I think it's silver. Let's see. Yeah, synthetic core, and this is the silver. So I mean, it's all right, you know, it's fine. So the A string, the last one, I do have, this is a synthetic core aluminum, and it also comes in the chrome. That's interesting, huh? Anyway, so yeah, so here you go, guys. I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but honestly, guys, I'm puzzled because there's so many good reviews. I'm just looking at the Tomastic website. I guess they wouldn't put any bad reviews in there, right? You know, like people say that the G and D string has a fast, responsive, and bright. No, it doesn't. Very similar to the P's. But maybe not as loud, you know. These are very nice sounding string. Dominant push strings are wow, you know. I mean, there are like really good reviews in here I'm reading, but I don't know. I'm just being completely honest with you guys, and this violin can really respond very well to most of the strings. This is the very first strings that I'm just having so much trouble with, and I'm just not enjoying them. So I'll be taking them off, and I don't even want to try different kinds, to be honest with you. But you know, take this review with a grain of salt. You know, obviously everybody has a different violins. Different violins can respond slightly different, you know. This is, I'm sharing with you completely my experience on this particular violin, and as much as I want to love the strings, these are just not my favorite. So let me just take you to the little demo that I did, so you can you know, just see if you can tell anything that you can, you know. I'll try to play on the G string and the E string as well, so you can you know, hear a range of colors, and just let me know what you think. so this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts. Are you familiar with the strings? Have you tried these before? Just let me know, what do you think? Okay, I am, like I said, I'm not enjoying them. I am not going to keep them on my violin for long because it just doesn't work the way I want. Okay, I need some warmth. Yes, I want brilliancy, but at the same time, I need to have a quick response. I don't want muddy notes. I don't want, anything happening on my G string, and I want my E string to be brilliant, but at the same time to be warm. Okay, I don't want to hear steel in my sound, and that's basically what I'm hearing. So, anyway. No more rambling. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. Please check my other videos. I have a whole a playlist and everything, with sorts of different things. So yeah, please check it out, and I guess I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.